What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Nick, and in today's video, we are going to be smoking some chicken wings. We're going to smoke these chicken wings, get them nice and crispy. They're going to be packed with flavor, and then we are using 3 different sauces to toss them in. We're going to be doing garlic parmesan, a homemade buffalo, and a homemade honey barbecue sauce. The garlic parmesan, I was going to make homemade, but hey, cut me a little slack. 2 out of 3 are going to be homemade. The chicken wings are going to be homemade. They're not frozen. I'm cutting them up myself, so hey, cut me a little slack. And if you guys like great food, be sure to subscribe to this channel because I'm fat and I like great food and I'm making tons of videos all the time. So with all that being said, let's get started with this video and cut up our wings. So the first thing you're going to do is cut off that tip. You don't need it. After you do that, cut down in between that skin on the drum and the flat, and it should help you guys find that joint a little bit easier. Feel around for it, cut right through it, and then your drum should look like this. Now what I like to do when I'm cutting these up is trim up some of that excess skin that's left over on the drums and the flats. I like to eat these wings for the chicken, not for the skin. So now that our chicken is cut into flats and drums, what I like to do is just pat them down a little bit, get some of that extra juice off of there that's not necessary. It always comes a little wet in the package, so I just like to take some paper towels and pat it down and get some of that stuff off of there. Then next up, what we're going to do is put everything in a little baggie and then get ready to shake it. I prefer to do it this way, honestly, because I think it's just easier, it's more convenient. You would get a lot more even of a coat if you laid them all out on a chicken rack and seasoned them across the top evenly, then flip them over. But that's a lot of work. You're going to have to wash your hands again after you do that. Your hands are going to get messy. And it's just, I'm all about quick and easy when it comes to making these wings. I'm not doing a competition. I'm just eating these in my home. So I'll shake them up in a bag all day long. Don't throw hate on me in the comments for that. I'm just trying to make my life easy. So to start out with our seasonings today, we're using a little bit of cornstarch, and this is not for flavor. It's just to help those wings get a little bit extra crispy. As you can see here, I'm just using about, one nice little tablespoon. Get it coated all around those wings, shake up your bag, get it spread out throughout there, and then start putting your seasonings in. I'm using a little bit of Killer Hogs barbecue rub just to get a little bit of that nice barbecue flavor in there. And I'm just going really basic today. I'm just using pepper and salt. A lot of our flavors are going to be coming from the actual sauces we're using, so I'm not too concerned about adding a bunch of more seasonings to these. I just want to put these on there so that they have a nice little basic layer of seasoning and a little bit of that cornstarch to help them get crispy. Again, I don't want to go too heavy on the seasoning, just a little bit of salt, pepper, and a little bit of that Killer Hogs barbecue rub just to give it a little bit of color. So I'm out here today at the Pit Boss Austin XL. This is a smoker that I have. I absolutely love it. Does a great job. Don't throw hate on the pellet grills. They're really great for people who don't want to sit there and stare at a smoker all day. I can go inside, do whatever I want, and it makes great food. But today I'm going to be using some hickory pellets. I have a little bit of leftover pecan in my hopper from the last time, so there will be a slight pecan smoke in there along with the hickory, but it's going to be majority hickory. I'm going to go ahead and set this at 250 degrees, let it come up to temperature. After it comes up to temperature, we're going to throw these bad boys on there and we'll get smoking. Okay guys, so our smoker is finally up to temp. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with some hickory. Smoking these bad boys 45 minutes at 250. Then we're going to crank up the temperature to about 350, 400 degrees for the final 20 to 30 minutes, however long it takes to hit that right internal temp. And with these, we want them to be around 175, 180. They're not going to be dried out. They need to be up to that temp to be cooked all the way, and they'll be nice and juicy. I promise you. I'll show you in a little bit. Now the easiest way to get a whole bunch of wings on your smoker is just dump the whole bag out. These don't need to be pretty. It took me a second there to figure that one out. So our wings are cooking on the smoker. Now it's time to come inside and make our sauces. We're gonna start out with the buffalo sauce. It's really super easy to make. It's just butter and Frank's Red Hot. That's it. And the ratio I'm using today is about 1/3 of a cup to about a cup and a half of hot sauce. So the only thing that we need to do is take our butter, put it in our pan, get it melted down, add in a cup of the hot sauce, stir it together till it's well incorporated, and let it simmer just for a little bit, and then it's ready to use. You can stick your finger in there, take a little test and see how it is. If you want it more spicy, add in a little bit more. If you want it less spicy, add in just a tad bit more butter. It's really up to you how spicy you want it to be. So let's get started. Now for our buffalo sauce, we're going to add in a 1/3 cup of butter. Cook it all the way down till it's really nice and melted. Then we're going to add in a whole cup of Frank's Red Hots. We're going to stir this up until it's kind of evenly distributed, until you can kind of tell that they're not as separated as it looks right now. Then once you have it like that, get it up to a boil. After it is boiling, shut it off, put it off of the heat, let it sit for 15 minutes. Now we're going to be making our homemade barbecue sauce. We're going to be putting in 2 cups of ketchup. Just a random amount of brown sugar. The more you put in, the more sweet it'll be. I put in about 2 nice little pinches. A half cup of apple cider vinegar, a half cup of water, a little splash of soy sauce. Then we're going to be adding in about a tablespoon of paprika, about another tablespoon of garlic powder and onion powder. Then we're going to be putting in about the same of chili powder. 1 tablespoon of ground pepper. I used a little bit too much. Don't do what I did. A splash of mustard and a little bit of honey. The more you put in, the more sweet it'll be. Give that a good stir until it is all mixed very, very well. It's going to take a little bit. There's a lot of stuff in here. Just get it mixed up really good and bring it up to a simmer. Once it's up to a simmer, let it cook for a little bit, maybe 5 minutes or so, and then you're done. So it's the 45-minute mark. We're back out here at our smoker. We're going to raise the temperature up to about 400 degrees for the last 20-30 minutes until we hit the internal temp we want of about 175, 180. But I want to give you guys a pro tip. If you were using a pellet grill, do not crank it up to 400 right away. If you can see now, the smoke that's coming out right now almost has a bluish tint to it. It's kind of clear. That's good, clean smoke. When you get that thick, heavy white smoke, that means that it's bad smoke. And if you just go right from 250 to 400 on a pellet grill, it's going to push out a lot of pellets. They're not going to burn properly. It's not going to be good. You're going to get a bunch of white, heavy, thick smoke rolling out, and that could ruin your chicken. So we're going to go up about 25 degrees at a time until you could tell that it's coming up slowly, and that way we'll get a good flavor throughout it, and we'll get it up to that high temp so that it gets the chicken wings nice and crispy. So it's been about 20 minutes at 400 degrees. We're gonna go ahead and probe these, see if they're at the right temperature, and if they are, we'll take them off. Okay guys, our chicken wings are done, and let me tell you what, these look absolutely amazing. I'm gonna bring out my little pan just so that you guys can see. I hope you see this. I mean, this is really nice. They got a really nice golden color on them. We did not deep fry them. These are straight off the smoker. And let me tell you what, if you look at these, I mean, this skin is kind of crispy. I mean, it's not as crispy as it would be if you deep fried it, obviously. I mean, you can't tell me that you wouldn't enjoy these. So what we're gonna do right now is we are going to go ahead and dip these in our sauces, and I'm gonna let you guys see what they look like. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna try today is our homemade buffalo sauce, and I just wanna flex just a little bit because I think it turned out absolutely great. I want you guys to take a look at this. After you bring your buffalo sauce up to a boil and let it cook down for a few minutes, shut it off. When it gets back to room temperature and you mix it, that butter and your hot sauce will mix very well together. I know it looks a little separated at first when it's hot because the vinegar and the butter don't mix that great, but once it's cooled down, I mean, it makes a perfect, look at that. I mean, just take a look at this. That's a thicker sauce, and I think it looks great. I'm sure it's gonna taste great. I really like flats, so I'm gonna have to favor a flat for the buffalo sauce. That's just kind of what I have to do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take this and just drizzle some on here like this. So now I have this buffalo sauce on my wing, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and give it a bite. Wow. Okay, so it's my first time making them like this. Usually I try to put a little bit more hot seasonings on my wing, but I actually really like how just basic they are with the salt and pepper. And pepper does give it a little bit of that bite. It's a little bit of that spice into it. The salt, salted perfectly. And a little bit of that barbecue rub gives it that nice barbecue chicken flavor. And then it has that great smoke in there. Hickory smoke is perfect. The skin is not rubbery at all. It is just crispy enough. Again, it's not deep fried, so it's not going to be crunchy, super crispy. But putting on a little bit of that cornstarch really does help. I gotta give this a 10 out of 10 for the buffalo. For me, I love buffalo sauce, so I could eat a snail that has buffalo sauce on it, and I think I'm gonna like it, honestly. just because of the buffalo sauce, but even though the buffalo sauce was on here, you were still able to actually taste the seasoning of the wing. You were still able to kind of taste that salt, pepper on there. This is just really great. You guys have to make this buffalo sauce. It is super, super easy. So now we're done with this bad boy. I'm gonna set this bone down. We're gonna go on to our garlic parmesan. I did not home make this. Like I said, cut me a little slack. I'm making 2 of them homemade. But for the garlic parmesan, I'm gonna crack it out of the bottle, pour a little bit onto one of the drums, and give it a try. Now I got one of these little drums here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this garlic parmesan. This is honestly one of my favorite things to get at Buffalo Wild Wings other than the buffalo sauce. This is my number 2. I like this more than barbecue sauce. I've never really made my own homemade barbecue sauce. I typically just buy a store-bought one and add a couple things to it to tweak it a little bit. But I'm making my own from scratch today. I'm saving that for last. I'm curious to know how that goes. But I am excited for this. I will make this homemade in the future one day. I just didn't want to make 3 things homemade all at once. We have friends coming over soon. It'd be really hectic for us to do that with a baby. Just a lot going on. So, like I said, cut me a little slack. But this is great. It was like $3. I'm just going to go ahead and just, don't want to squirt on too much. I'm going to shake it up a little bit first. Let's get this shaken up. Just go ahead. Just going to get a little bit on there for a nice little bite. And let's see how it tastes. Oh, yeah. Honestly, I think there should be a wing place that doesn't deep fry them. I'm a huge fan of barbecued wings. It gives it that nice charred flavor when it gets really dark on the outside. It just gives it that classic barbecue flavor that you cannot get from deep fried. Deep fried wings, amazing. I always love them, but something really special about these barbecued wings. If you make these for parties, I mean, people are going to want to come over to your house all the time. That's what happens to me. Just kidding, I don't have friends, but I'm gonna clean the rest of this up and then we're gonna try out our barbecue sauce. Okay, so now it's time to try one of these barbecue wings. I just wanna let you guys know, I already dipped my finger in the sauce and took a little bite. Not a bite, I like licked my finger. I didn't bite my finger, that'd be weird. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna dunk this in here, shake it off a little bit and dig into this. I'm really looking forward to this. Okay, so as you guys can see, we have this all glazed up in our barbecue sauce and I'm ready to take a bite. I'm telling you. There's something that just makes me feel like a caveman when I eat chicken wings. I almost feel spiritual when I do it, like I'm gnawing on a bone of an animal. I don't know what it is, but that was ridiculous. Look, I'm telling you guys, please make this recipe. Please make the barbecue sauce. Just copy everything that I do. Call it your own. I don't even care. It's not trademarked or patented. I'm just a guy on YouTube that really likes barbecue. Okay, make these please and eat them. And let me know when you do. Comment down below. Well, thank you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I hope you like this content. If you do, be sure to subscribe because I'm making a new video and putting it out every single Saturday and sometimes others whenever life allows me. If you guys like great food, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be making a different recipe and posting it every single Saturday. Make sure you like this video, share it with your friends, and comment down below when you try this and make this. Let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I have links in the description for the things that I have used today. I also put the recipes for the different sauces that I made down there so you guys can make it at home. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you in the next video.